problems into opportunities takes creativity. Today's Life on Top certainly is not lacking in that department. Let's meet her.
My name is Rapelang, and I was part of the founding team of Yego in 2005, producing some of the earliest mobile voice over IP applications. This began a long journey into telecommunications that brought us together with Toll-Free in 2008, and now we're at a place where we're managing the entire telecommunication spectrum of running our next generation carrier network.
27-year-old Rapelang Rabana is no stranger to telling her story. She has told it countless times. Not surprising, having left her mark at a young age in the hugely competitive telecommunications field. This soft-spoken young lady will describe the birth of her company as an opportunity to meet the needs of young people.
The thing for us when we started the company was that it wasn't because we were philosophers or had any abstract ideas. We had real problems or situations that we wanted to actually solve. Being students, you didn't have the money to meet those prepaid rates, and sending please call me is quite irritating. So we thought on a small campus like this, surely we should be able to communicate.
Before Yego Communications, Rabana was just a fresh graduate with a blurry forecast of her future.
Come graduation, I found I had to decide what in the world I was going to do with myself. I had expected to join a corporate, maybe up until 6 months before I actually graduated. And then I had a couple of epiphanies. The first one was that I felt that throughout my whole life, through varsity, through high school, I'd been working the system, doing stuff I didn't want to do, playing by rules I didn't believe in, just doing stuff to beat the system and not doing something for the sake of doing it. So I thought, when does it stop? Do I keep doing this for the rest of my life, and how do I get around it? It became almost imperative for me to break out of this sort of zone of waiting for my life or my real life to begin. And I realized that if I don't make these decisions now, at this very moment, which is the only part of my life I can really control, I may be stuck in this cycle of living by default.
Unwilling to follow her classmates into the corporate sector, Rabana joined forces with 2 other colleagues to start up Yego Communications.
Often the greatest barrier to starting a company is often the perceived uncertainty around a startup and the risk associated with that. For me, this didn't end up being prohibitive because I feel that if we really open our eyes and we really look at something, we realize that we weren't so sure about what we were seeing anyway. I thought that joining a big corporate would sort of shield me a lot from that uncertainty. But at the end of the day, it was a fake assurance, an illusion that there was any certainty about anything in this world. So joining a corporate also represented another risk, a risk much greater than the risk of a startup in my mind. It represented the risk of not being in control of my own destiny. So at the end of the day, I wasn't not scared of starting a startup. It was more that I was compelled that there was something much more important than my fear. So at the end of 2005, I and as the 2 of my classmates decided we're going to do this. We're going to do something cool and see how it works out. And we decided to tackle the issue of the cost of communication, having been plagued with sending please call me's to each other for the vast majority of our varsity career. We thought that with IP and internet services becoming available, there was an opportunity to change a lot in communications.
She describes a unique quality in the eagle that they imbibe.
Eagles they act without fear. Regardless of if they're hunting in a territory occupied by other birds, they still take the leap. And in taking that leap, they don't doubt themselves. They wait for the right moment. They observe, they do their planning, and decide to leap and go for the kill. The first year we started, we lived with our parents or relied on them for food or a place to sleep. We got some laptops, very cheap ones, and some internet access and started trying to prototype. We also started looking for funding around the same time. And one of the biggest factors that would greatly influence our ability to secure funding further along the line was the fact that we got going. We actually just got cracking on this idea, regardless of whether we didn't know if we could do it or not. We still weren't sure. And we got going despite not knowing how we would sustain ourselves for the rest of the year.
All their hard work paid off as Yego became South Africa's first mobile voice internet protocol company. And just a year after its existence, Diego made a major global breakthrough with the multi-million sale of a stake in the company to US-based Quality One Wireless. And this led them to partner with Swiss-based telecommunications company Telfree to solve two problems.
Spent the last few years learning to build applications for the communications environment. They had started building a carrier infrastructure of the quality we would require that could potentially take advantage of all these kinds of IP applications. So our partnership solved that first problem of giving us access to infrastructure. And at least for the second part of the problem, using the expertise that Telfree had already built, focused more and more on the small business sector.
Now in charge of the Global Research and Development Division, Rabana's dream is to continue doing what she does so well. She has a passion for young people and believes that to make an impact, one key thing is required.
The key word is access. Access to information, access to knowledge, access to education, access to other people, access to ideas, access to opportunities, access to a better chance. Setting up organizations to help young people today means nothing if those services are not readily accessible. And the quintessential device to find young people today is the mobile phone. With the growth of mobile broadband, the mobile phone goes to the next level. From more affordable means to communicate using mobile VoIP, instant messaging and social media, to educational applications and games, to community forums and platforms and information portals that engage and expose people to another world of information. The list of ways to make an impact is endless. Using the power of technology to bring about inspirational change has been my life.
Rabana talks about some of her achievements.
Services. My work has been recognized by many organizations, which gives me a platform to engage people on multiple levels. I am an ambassador for the United Nations World Summit Youth Awards, celebrating young people who have brought change to their community using technology in pursuit of the Millennium Development Goals. I speak for initiatives such as the Old Mutual Do Great Things project and address youth and business audiences frequently. I see access to Davos as an opportunity to extend the reach and potential of my greatest aspirations so that I can make links and connect initiatives at an even greater scale.
Despite her success, she remains focused on her objectives.
This carrier in South Africa and continue to deliver ways to communicate and engage, even bringing cloud-hosted business telephony to South Africa so that even the smallest entrepreneur can have access to world-class communication services. I want to continue to find ways to deliver life-changing services.
On this journey, I hope I've illustrated the classic and very crucial qualities of deep commitment, sustained pursuit of excellence, foresight and insight, and patience, and a deep, deep self-belief. These are qualities that my favorite bird, eagles, show all the time, knowing that when they apply these, they will be able to soar to the next destination without needing to get an emergency parachute landing.
The eagle is definitely an animal she admires.
Making the right choice on what to wear can sometimes be the most stressful part of your outing. On Trends today, we learn what kind of dresses will suit specific body types.
For some women, dressing up is a matter as serious as eating. Others add that the day's hardest chore is picking out what to wear. She never has enough clothes. She dislikes some of her clothes because they don't just fit. The colors are wrong, the sizes are wrong, and she is left wondering why she ever bought them.
The problem isn't the clothes. Many women don't know what fits their sizes or body shapes, so they end up buying what doesn't. This makes it impossible to find the right outfit. Fashion designer Ade Bakari agrees and prefers some solution to this challenge. for a slim woman?
A slim woman is quite fortunate. They can wear quite a lot of things, but it's nice for them to be in fitted things. It's better they accentuate their figure more. A slim woman shouldn't wear too much jewelry. They can get lost in it. They shouldn't wear sort of very big clothes because, yet again, they can get lost in it. Apart from that, a lot of things tend to suit them.
For a curvy woman,
a lady with curves should wear slightly fitted things to semi-fitted, not too tight. Except, of course, they've got a very slim stomach, and then yes, they can wear very fitted things. But they should avoid things that make them look sort of bigger, and that's like with prints. Large, they're wearing dresses, the prints shouldn't be large, the flowers should be a bit small, everything should be on a smaller scale.
for a plus-size woman,
a plus-size lady should avoid extremely fitted things, except of course they've got a nice stomach again, because what's not very nice is a big woman's tummy is showing and then it doesn't look sort of very appealing. They could also wear a lot of empire clothes, which is something that's cut under the bust. So it's tight, cut under the bust and then flares out. It's called an empire line. That always looks very beautiful on the plus sizes. Also, they can show a bit of cleavage, you know, more lower necklines, you know. A lot of them are very conservative about showing their arms, but I don't think it's a big issue, except of course they've got stretch marks on it.
and if you just have a simple wardrobe but still want to look fabulous,
Get beautiful accessories, shoes, bags, the jewelry. That way you can always make an outfit look different, make it look more interesting. And even if it's an outfit you've worn, again, once you re-accessorize it, people tend not to recognize.
On a final note, Bakare prizes confidence as a woman's best outfit.
Whatever you're wearing, just be confident about it and you look beautiful as always.
So, there you have it. A few tips to help your wardrobe choices be less of a drag. When everything fits, you spend less time deciding what would look good on you.
Interesting. So ladies, dressing up for that special occasion, for the office, or even to visit a friend should be fun now. Just before we go, let's inspire you with this quote. In the words of Eleanor Roosevelt, you can gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. And according to Nikki Giovanni, mistakes are a fact of life. It is the response to the error that counts. We would like to hear from you. Please like our Facebook page, A Woman's World TVC News. You can also follow us at TVC Woman's World. With that, we have come to the end of today's episode. Don't forget to tune in next time. I am Oyinlola Sali.